Today we're going to be writing some posts live, show you how you can write posts that turn your audience into high-ticket dream clients and people who can actually pay you. Now, over the course of the video, I encountered 3 principles that helped me grow my audience to 200,000 plus followers. One comes from Kanye West, the other one comes from just something I came up with during a workout, and the third one comes from how do you create more content by doing less. So without further ado, let's roll. There's marketing and then there's product. Average marketing markets to a product. Buy my thing. Whereas great marketing markets from a product. I already created this. Do you want it? If your clients like it, then there's a chance that prospects will also like it. Why wouldn't you use your product as the marketing? I made a whole video on that. You can check it out over there. For now, let us write. What you're looking at right now, it's a Google Sheet by my assistant. So what I ask him to do is please collect all the client questions that we get. Because if a follower asks the question, you should take that kind of seriously. But if a client asks a question, you should take that very seriously, because then your prospects might have that same question. And if you use that as the marketing, then you can make way more money, because then you can help them. And if you help them, you might also be able to help your prospects. People like helpful people. So you can be helpful, make more money. Let me go over a few questions because this is where I start now. So for example, this is an interesting one. I'm just back from all my travel, so getting stuck into everything. Sales are number 1 priority. I've gone from having 30K a month-ish to doing it all and having a 15 to 20K a month, removing myself. Focus now has to be to make those systems work better. Sales and lead flow are the obvious steps. So what do? I just act like a mirror. I reflect these things into you. I could write, and this is not scripted, would you rather have a $30,000 a month business doing everything or a $20,000 a month biz runs on its own? So that's kind of a baity question, but it gets people interested.
Oh, of course I'd like a 20K a month business run on its own, right?
Well then, I could write another one saying things that are easy to delegate. Admin tasks, menial tasks, things that are not easy to delegate. Sales, lead flow, and what else did they say? Client success. For the first group, you can hire a VA. For the second, you must train a VA. There you go. It makes people feel like...
That's me, totally, because I've been in that situation.
You want people to do that. You want people to feel like...
Man, that's me.
Here's another rule. I like this clip by Kanye and Rick Rubin.
If it sounds like it could be on someone else's album, it can't be on your records.
So I have kind of a rule of thumb. If you can copy paste this and put it in a feed that's not JK Molina's feed, then I don't want to post it. I would like to change these things to things that relate more to me. If I'm just like everybody else, I'm also gonna make the same money as everybody else. So I gotta give them a reason to be me. Especially now with AI, you're never gonna beat people in quantity, but you can beat them at being you. So what you can do here, it's things that were easy to delegate. For the first group, I can hire a VA. Now it went from do this to, hey, I did this, right? And I'm showing more vulnerability. When you write posts, you also kind of have to be in a free flow mode. You can't get stuck. I'm also thinking this is probably going to suck because that alleviates pressure. Your worst writing comes when you get attached to the outcome. Your best writing comes when you don't care. So right now I'm making a big effort on not caring. I'm gonna go through another client question because your clients may not be better marketers than you, but without them, you can't be a good marketer. You need to get the data from them, and that's where the marketing comes from. And you'll never know that better than them. My setter and I chat daily. He's got scripts and a Google Sheet, but no CRM. Any recommendations, sir? CRMs I've used. Pipedrive, Airtable, Google Sheets. Oh, actually, check this out. CRMs that work. CRMs that don't work if you don't. All of the above. CRMs are not about which tools you use. It's just about using them. Not my best post, but again, you gotta forgive yourself. If you're not creating the best content, keep going. Now that my offer includes revenue share, do you guys have any contract templates? And if not, do you have any general guidelines on what to include or exclude? I like that. We created a contract template for coaches who take revenue share. You want this to be airtight, so you get paid and you're protected. I'm sending it tomorrow to my list. If it's something that's like this cool, you can make people join your list for it if you wanted to. Again, I'm free flowing here with you, right? It's just, we're in our mojo now. I'm debating moving my group coaching to a monthly basis and charging like $67 a month to be in there. Any reason that would undermine my higher ticket one-on-one stuff? Worrying about creating several offers before you hit 30K a month is like worrying about which condom brand to use before getting the date. Don't solve problems you haven't earned the right to solve. One offer, one niche, one plan. It could be bad, but we're still going. When I get on sales calls, I have been trying to up my prices, but I'm having a hard time getting people to see the value in what I'm trying to do. I don't know if it's either how I am explaining it or the services I am providing. It's probably how you're explaining it. So there's two aspects to an offer. The offer, how you present it. Saying 12 months commitment sounds way heavier than saying you get access to an entire year. Make the language softer every chance you get. That's a good one. I like this one. See, it's like a pipe with dirty water. Sometimes you just gotta let the dirty water run out and then good water starts pouring in. I'm gonna keep writing tweets, but I'm gonna give you an example of the Kanye principle, which is if you could copy and paste it and it could be in somebody else's feed, it shouldn't be in yours. Let me show you that principle in practice. We used to say 12-month commitment. Now we say get access for an entire year. Language matters. I would change this to the language around the offer. Now it's me, right? I'm talking about myself. It's not 12 months anymore, but if you want to learn how much it is, go to program.lexandcash.com and we'll add $20,000 a month in your monthly revenue. Worry about creating several offers before you hit 30K a month is like that one time I worried about which content brand to use before getting the date. Don't solve problems you haven't earned the right to solve. See, it's me, right? I'm relating to my own album. This one, I used to choose A. Now I'm all for B. How about you? And then they need to answer. Wasn't able to follow up that big sales with anything, which was disappointing. Consistency is still a struggle. Eventually, you understand that the day after a big sales day won't be as big. That's part of the game. It's not your fault. What is your fault is not putting in the work that led to that big sales day. One day it will be even bigger. You don't get to decide when, you get to decide if. Something I sent a client after he couldn't hit 2 big sales days in a row. There you go. I said it. So because I said it, it can't be in anybody else's feed. And this is what makes me unique. And it also makes you unique. The third principle I want to illustrate to you is sawdust. I don't think that great content is created. I think that great content is collected. Think of yourself as a carpenter. You're working all day and you end up with a product that you give your clients. From that product, you look at the floor, it's full of sawdust. And that sawdust you can sell. I never really create much more content for my audience. I create content for my clients. And I get the sawdust from the ground and I give it to my audience. Because I believe that great content is not created, great content is collected. So I created this guide for my clients. It's how to book calls from DMs, right? It's a whole thing, a bunch of DMs. For example, I said this, how to never run out of people to DM. I think of this as a hunter or gatherer relationship. If you're not getting as many leads as you want, you can gather more or you can hunt more. This is part of my course. Here's what's interesting. Because great content isn't created, great content is collected, I turned this into an email. I just copied and pasted it. That is how I think about content. And I know this is going to hit because it already did, because I gave it to my clients. And that's the third concept I want to illustrate with you today. It's sawdust. The best content comes from things you've already created. This is why creating content is actually quite easy, because it's just a bunch of copy pasting. It's the thinking of what to give my clients that's hard. The content part is easy. Actually, by being lazy and doing it this way, I guarantee it will do well, because if it works for a client, it's a very high likelihood that it will also work for a prospect. No job description, but I do have a basic list of tasks, which I'm intending to write out more fully with proper instructions. I have no idea how to find an EA. What are some good channels or some good interview and vetting questions? Everybody needs a VA, but nobody knows how to hire a VA. So what I did is I collected a social media VA field manual. So first, it's a video of me going through how I work with a VA, how do you get them to set calls by chat, content idea, social proof, doing more of what's working. Mind you, this is a great resource for my clients. I could turn this into a YouTube video, and I did. I could grab content ideas, right? I could give them my template on how do I collect my questions, what's the Zapier integration. Think about it, like this could be a lead magnet. This could also become a video, right? I'm recording a video on it right now. This is why when people ask me,
Jakey, how do you create so much content?
I tell them, you create just as much content as me. The difference is I go back and collect it and you don't. Hopefully you get an idea of this is how I write tweets live. These are not scripted. This is exactly how I write. Now, I would not post today because there's another quote by Bukowski in which he is writing and his girl comes into the room and the girl asks him,
Did you write today?
and he says, yes.
Was it good?
And he says, you never know until 16 days later. And that is facts. I don't wait 16 days. I wait one, but I would never post this today. I would come back tomorrow, edit it, and make sure that it comes from the 3 principles. You don't market to a product, you market from a product. If it could be in somebody else's feed, it cannot be in yours. Great content isn't created, it's collected. What have I already created that I can just post? So those 3 principles are what helped me really nail my 200,000 follower production. These 3 concepts have been the most useful out of everything when it comes to actually getting high ticket dream clients from an audience that I thought was dead. So maybe this can help you out. Hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, likes and cash.